So a person can move from being a very spiritual and practicing spiritual practices, and you go into Christianity, and that's okay as well, because every single person is here for their own life experience. If your higher self or your soul has allowed you to move from that space with others to a next space, it means that it's part of your growth, it's part of your evolution, it's part of your purpose, right? Remember, we have many purposes, right? There's not only one purpose you have, and every decision that you make, wherever you go, whatever you resonate to, is speaking into your purpose. All right, your purpose may be something small, maybe something big. You understand that kind of thing. So people don't understand that as well. So all these two, spirituality and religion, it's the same thing expressed differently. The one, you don't need to ask for forgiveness, because there's nothing to forgive. You are born whole and complete. You're part of divine source. You're part of the universe, part of nature. The other one, you are born into original sin, right? Ancestral sin. Now, remember that in spirituality, we also know that there is something called ancestral sin coming from our forefathers, okay? So, now remember that if you are born with ancestral sin from your blood, your immediate bloodline, not as far as Adam and Eve. So how much baggage you carrying? Adam and Eve's nonsense, and then your own bloodline. Think about it very clearly, like. But you decide on what you want, right? Remember that everything is about your intention and your belief. There's no right or wrong. You choose what's right for you. Okay, you choose what's right for you. So if you have not as yet, Mrs. Sipiwe Mkhize, if you have not a Naomi, yeah, Vernon, I'm not sure Vernon has subscribed to my channel. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel as well. Okay. Mrs. Mkhize, thank you. Yeah, thank you for saying that my voice is nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. My channel is all about spirituality, self-awareness, and self-development, right? On my channel, I talk about topics that are most people are afraid to talk about, right? And remember, we are in the age of information. We have freedom of expression now, right? As long as you know that whatever you say, right, you must be responsible of what you're saying, right? Have responsibility. It's all about that, right? It's all about you being responsible of everything that you're saying. So spirituality. So you are not a sinner, right? That's what we believe. We believe that you are divine source, a divine fragmentation, a divine expression of God. The idea that you are a sinner is meant to bring awareness for humanity's imperfection. Okay. Now remember, how can you be born imperfect because of what had happened to Adam and Eve? So you decide, do you believe in that philosophy or not? Right? Okay. So instead of feeling loved by God, you may feel condemned by God. This is what's happening with Christians. Because you don't feel loved by God, you feel condemned, because when you're not getting what you want and what you asked for, what you prayed for, you feel condemned. Because of the end of the day, remember, you got conditions. You must now serve this God, and you must live the certain way. So the bad side or the negative consequences of the you are a sinner complex. So it makes you feel as if that you are not loved by God, that people feel that they are abandoned by God. Okay, then you wonder, where is this God? I'm sure you've heard people pray that, where is God when I'm in a situation? You understand, right? Instead of opening your heart to divine grace, it can close your heart, and you feel guilt and shame, right? Instead of you opening your heart to divine grace, it may close your heart with guilt and shame. This is now the whole idea, the mentality. You are a sinner, the negative consequences of it, okay? Spirituality, this can create a separate mindset where you feel separate from God, the belief that God is distant, judgmental, and waiting to punish you, rather than ever-present source of love and healing. So Christianity has moved God from being divine love and caring and compassion, to a God of judgments, a distant God, right? Of judgments, and wanting to punish you rather than love you and embrace you and accept you, all your flaws. Okay, it's like a father and a child. a mother and a child parents a relationship, in other words, right? Children, there are given conditions, right? For example, daddy will only love you if you behave in a certain way, and mommy will reward you only when you behave a certain way. That's given conditions, right? So in other words, Christianity, like all other religions, have conditions, right? You can only be accepted by this divine God and given success and wealth and abundance when you abide to the God of the Bible. You understand? In many mystical and spiritual traditions, even within Christianity itself, the deeper truth is that the soul is already divine, already connected to God. How can you be separate when you already connected to God, your soul? Sin is seen as less of a permanent stain, but more as a form of ignorance that can be lifted through love, awareness, and transformation. When you transform yourself and choose love and forgiveness and compassion for yourself and others, you now close and connect to God. Okay, so now this is not taught in the church, basically. What's taught in the church is you have to do deeds of good deeds, in other words, sorry, good deeds for you to gain God's love, right? Instead of you transforming yourself and becoming full of love, awareness for you to transform and become one with God, right? In psychology, the effects of sin and mentality is quite interesting. This the guilt, chronic guilt and shame. A person may constantly feel bad or unworthy no matter what they do. Okay, the guilt can become so toxic, leading to self-centered hatred, self-hatred, and self rejecting yourself, right? Then fear-based living in fear. The idea of being punished by God can create anxiety or even depression. Instead of God uh, being one of love, people begin to fear God as the punisher. God becomes the punisher. So Christianity and other religions have made God the punisher, not the ever loving uh, father type of archetype. It's now the punisher. You understand? Understand? Suppressing the authentic self. You are afraid to be yourself, right? You're afraid of yourself anyway, because if you are lesser than what they want you to be, then you become fragmented. Suppression of self, authentic self. Being you being who you are, right? uh, as authentic as possible. You're afraid of that because you're afraid of your thoughts, the things you're thinking. Are they holy? Are they pure? You know, that kind of thing. You keep on judging yourself continuously. People may suppress natural human emotions and needs, thinking they are being sinful, which lead to regression and inner conflict. In spirituality psychology, we call it fragmentation. You start fragmenting yourself, okay, because you keep on suppressing your desires, because your desires are seen to be not godly. You understand? That's what has happened already in our collective psychic, collective consciousness. Then external authority dependence, when you're depending on something outside of you for validation. Psychologically, it can make people give away their power, relying on only on religious leaders or external institutions for forgiveness, instead of cultivating a direct relationship with the divine within you. Right now, religion doesn't allow you to create that unless you live and learn more and implement a relationship with God, whereby you are now working with God and you're not looking at God as this authority, right? You're looking at God as a co-creator, one that's helping you, your loving source, right? Because you're part of that loving source. But now, when you are in the religious dogma, becomes a problem, okay? Orthodox teachings, you deep into it, you can't separate the fact that you are created by God, that you're not separate from God, and you and Jesus have one thing in common, the love of God, that you're all parts of God, that you yourself, as Jesus said in the New Testament, you too can also perform these many miracles, even more than what I can perform. It's said in the Bible by Yeshua Jesus. You understand? Meaning that he was trying to say that you are just as equal to God as I am. So it's up to you if you're going to call yourself a son of God, a child of God in a sense, but not in a way that you are now lesser than that God. You are co-creating with that God. You are one with that God. You understand the powers and authority God you have over your life, not over others. Remember that it's about you, it's about your life. Your power that you have, you're co-creating your life with God, your life, not other people. So you don't have authority over other people's lives. Because remember, because we're all fragments of divine source, right? Meaning we should not be judging other people. We should not be forcing our ways on other people, but we should be allowing them to express themselves as well and make those choices as well, guys. Right? Hope this live was helpful, and hope this teachings was helpful as well. Okay. So as I said, if you have not as yet, go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Right? Yeah, and also look into my videos, share my videos with your friends as well. Okay. And have a great week further, because today is Sunday, right? We start this new week. Remember that you are loved, you are blessed, you are not a sinner, you are divine source, you're an expression of God, you are abundance, you are divine, you are pure. But then again, you have a choice to decide if you are pure, if you are divine, if you are a fragmentation of God. It's your choice. You have choice. That's a freedom of choice that we have as human beings. Okay, if you want to be call yourself a sinner, then it's fine as well. It's up to you. You live your life the way you want to live, right? Because you can create your life. Okay, so have a great day further, guys, and enjoy the week coming. Okay, guys.